Welcome. This sequence is an invitation to have a deeper somatic experience through the felt senses and feeling the support of the earth underneath you. Often in yoga classes, we will hear the teacher call out the shapes or the asanas, and we do our best to move our body into that shape. And you'll hear teachers say, listen to your body, trust your body, but a lot of the time that can wash over us and we still are doing our best to push and make the same shape and do what we think we're meant to be doing. So this class is completely the opposite to that. This is an invitation for you to every single time stop, check in. How does this feel to me? Does this feel safe to me? What would I need to do to make it feel better in my body? And every time you do that and don't do the shape that I'm doing, you're building trust and deeper connection with your physical body, with the experience of being in your physical body, which I know can sound ridiculous, but a lot of us are not in there all the time. That's where all our feelings are, the feelings that we don't always want to experience, and a lot of the time we get out of there because we don't want to experience them. So that disassociation can really take you out of your body. This is a doorway in, just an introduction into really exploring the felt senses as a way to access inhabiting and embodying in a deeper way. So I hope you enjoy it. If you're a beginner, there are going to be shapes in here that you should not do. So you're going to be exercising that inner voice and that trust. Does this feel good to me? If it doesn't, don't do it. Invitation, listen to your body. Not what I'm saying, listen to your body. And hopefully this is a doorway into you building a greater embodiment. Thanks. Let's begin in a comfortable cross-legged position. You can have a blanket under your hips to make it more comfortable if you like. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Have your hands comfortably on your knees. And lean back a little bit so your heart is over your hips. And then close your eyes. Bring your awareness to your breath. Don't force it. Let it be gentle. In and out your nose. A comfortable ujjayi breath. What does the breath feel like as it moves in through your nose? The inside of your nostrils. Can you feel it on your inhale moving down the back of your throat? Notice the sounds around you now. What are the sounds in your immediate room? Can you stretch your hearing as far as possible? Perhaps outside, on your street. Now bring your awareness back into your body. Can you feel the ground under your hips holding and supporting you? Unmoving, reliable and safe in its holding of your body. Bring your hands together and rub your palms, really trying to create some energy between your hands. And then, as if you're playing an imaginary accordion, hold them palms facing toward each other and just feel the tingling on your fingers, on your skin. And can you sense the energy of the air between your palms if they're just an inch or two apart? And then pull them away a little bit as you're playing your invisible accordion. And can you still sense the space between your palms? And move the palms toward each other and away from each other, sensing the space between your hands. Perhaps you can feel that tingling moving down your hands a little bit. And when you pull your hands away from each other, can you sense your elbows moving? And then slowly bringing your palms to connect, feeling the sense of touching on both your hands as you seal your hands into prayer mudra. I want to offer you an intention for your practice today, that you experience inhabiting your body in a deeper way. And can reap all the benefits that that deeper inhabiting of your body can provide. Release your hands to your knees. And then begin rolling. You can keep your eyes closed if that feels right. And just start rolling in circles with your hands on your hips. Rolling your torso in one direction. In your Ujjayi breath, exhaling as you hunch back and inhaling as you move forward. And I invite you to keep your eyes closed here and really get in touch with what this feels like in your body. Answer the question, how does this feel? And as I might ask these questions today, you don't necessarily, it's not about the answer, it's about the inquiry. So in asking yourself these questions, how does this feel? Where do you feel this? Your awareness is sent in, and the inquiry opens up a deeper experience of what it feels like in your body. If you haven't already switch directions now. And at any point, I really encourage you to ask, how does this feel in my body? And if at any point it doesn't feel right and rich and like it's something that can benefit you, then don't do it. I want to encourage a really different practice here from just following all the yoga asanas. Instead, I want to offer that you build on this relationship of trust with yourself and your body. And if it doesn't feel good, come back to a straight spine. Then don't do it, or trust your own inner guidance of what version will work for you. Keeping your hands on, you may want to open your eyes now to see. Hunch your back backwards, keeping your hands on your knees so you don't roll backwards. And then inhale through your nose, bring your heart forward. Exhale, roll backwards. So it's like a cat and cow, but remaining seated. So you might notice how your sits bones underneath you rolling on the earth. Perhaps you notice how when you roll back, your feet lift up a little bit. Get curious about all the pieces in your body that are moving to make this simple movement happen. Come back to a neutral spine and move into table pose. So just take a minute here and really palm the mat with each hand. Now push up through both palms and notice how that makes your back of your shoulders widen a little bit and pulls your spine up a little bit. And let that be the motivation for dropping your head and lifting your stomach to begin cat and cow. And then from your pelvis, roll your stomach down and lift your head and heart. And then again, let pushing through the earth of your hands be the motivation to move back. Dropping your head, lifting your stomach, creating space behind your shoulders. Sink your weight back down, giving it to the earth, lifting your head, dropping your stomach. One more round of cat and cow here. Now bring your knees back a couple of inches, tuck your toes and lift your hips back into downward facing dog. Walk the dog a moment here, bending one knee and then the other. Now feeling the earth under your toes. Push through the earth from the balls of your feet and notice how that pushes your body forward and you come into plank. And then feeling the earth again under the palms of your hands, push through the earth as you push back to downward facing dog. I invite you to close your eyes if that feels safe for you. You make that decision. Pushing through your feet again, chunging forward to plank, because we're just going to move between downward dog and plank here for a minute. Pushing through your hands, notice how that brings your whole body back into downward facing dog. Building the connection with the reliable earth under your feet, pushing through your feet, moves your body forward into plank. Feel the earth holding you. Push through your hands back into downward facing dog. You are in control of your movements here. Pushing through your feet, come back into plank. Push through your hands and back to downward facing dog. Stay in downward facing dog here. Walk the dog again for a moment. Look forward and on your exhale, walk your feet toward your hands. Release into a forward fold. Notice all the parts of your feet that are connected to the earth. If perhaps it's just the outside edges only, then adjust so you're also feeling the ball of your big toe and your entire heel. Feel all the sides of your feet on the earth. On your next inhale, slowly rise halfway with a flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Breathe a moment here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping your hands out to the side, rise up to standing, hands above your head. Exhale, fold back down into a forward fold. Pushing through your feet, inhale, rising halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Palm the mat, step back to plank. Connect to the feeling of the earth supporting you here through your hands and feet. Exhale, lower slowly. Inhale, baby cobra, pulling your hands isometrically back towards your feet, rolling your shoulders down, opening up your heart, pushing your thighs into the earth so that you may rise through your crown. Notice the opposing forces of pushing down through your legs and lifting through your heart. Push yourself back to downward facing dog. On your next exhale, look forward and walk your feet towards your hands. Release into a forward fold. On your next inhale, move your hands slowly up your legs to halfway point, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping your hands out to the side, rise to standing, hands above your head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root down through your feet to rise, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping your hands out to the side, rise all the way to standing, hands above your head. Sit down and find Utkatasana, chair pose here. Take a moment and connect. Feel the earth under your feet. Maybe you need to move your knees back an inch so you can feel the weight in your heels as well. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway, flat back. Exhale, palm the mat, step back to plank. Feel the earth support you through your hands and feet. You can always be on your knees in any chaturanga here. Lower slowly. Inhale, cobra. You can come a little deeper into cobra if that feels good. Pushing through the tops of your thighs, the tops of your feet, rolling your shoulders back and down your back. Pushing back to downward facing dog. Notice how when you push through the palms of your hand, you create an upward line all the way to your hips. Your legs can be bent here. On your next exhale, look forward and walk or hop your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Feel the weight of your head create space down your spine here. Keep your knees soft so they're movable, they're not locked. Maybe shake your head no. Nod it yes. Inhale, lift halfway with a flat back. Exhale, fold. Palm the mat, step your left foot back here and find crescent pose. Hands remain on the mat for a moment as you connect to the earth again under your feet. Notice how when you push through the ball of your back foot, that pushes your whole body forward. Just play with that for a moment. You from that one push can leap if you wanted to. Settle into the pose now and rise. Now utilizing that same motion by pushing through the ball of your back foot, push up into your version of Warrior 3, remembering to listen to your own body. So you can be an airplane with your hands out to the side, hands behind you or hands in front for true Warrior 3, your version. Pushing off that back foot and finding your Warrior 3 balance, whatever that looks like. Keep the knee soft on that standing leg. Step back into crescent here. This is an invitation only. Remember to check in with your own body because we're trying to create safety. So if this doesn't feel truly safe to you, then I invite you to stay in crescent. Otherwise, we're going to come into a twist, bringing your left hand to the mat. From your pelvis, twist towards your front knee and raise that top hand to the sky. Every time you make a choice that feels safe to you, you're creating trust in that relationship with your inner voice and your body. Bring the top hand to the ground. Wherever you are now, drop your back knee. So you're now in a low lunge. Lift your hands. Feel those 3 points of connection, your front foot, your back knee, and your back foot. Play within the pose a little to find what feels good for you. It doesn't need to be stagnant. It can flow and move around. Bring your hips back, lift your front toes and drop your head. How does this feel in your body? Remember, we're inviting the inquiry for you to explore how this feels. Notice how with your hands down and your knee and your foot on the ground, can you feel some stability and some trust in your body being safe in the earth, supporting you in this position. Slowly walk your hands forward. Palm the mat, tuck your back toes, and make your way back to down dog. Do that in a way that feels safe to you. There's no rush. On your next exhale, look forward and walk your feet back to your hands. Release into a forward fold. Lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping your hands out to the side. Rise to standing, hands above your head. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Sink your weight into your feet here. Maybe bend your knees and bounce a little and really feel your weight, your complete being sinking down into your legs. Maybe wiggle your toes so you can feel the earth under your feet once more. Release your head. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot back now. Now again, take a moment and feel the sensations of the earth under your feet. And notice how when you push off that back foot, you move your body forward. Play with that for a moment if that feels right for you. And how then when you push your front foot, it sends you back. And now sink into the pose. Sink your weight into both feet equally. And when you find that safety, root down through your feet to rise and find crescent. And when you're ready, we're going to push off to find your version of Warrior 3 again, pushing off through the ball of your back foot to find the balance. And if the balance doesn't work, you can have your hands on the ground for Grounded Warrior. Or you can lean against a wall, whatever feels safe for you. Let's move into the pose. And then step back to crescent. Now remember, if twisting doesn't feel safe to you, stay here. Otherwise, drop your right hand to the earth on the inside of your front foot. From your pelvis, begin to twist towards your front knee. And when you're fully in the twist, raise your hand. Slowly exhale that hand down. Drop your back knee. Take a minute and feel the 3 points of connection here. Just invite a deeper sinking in to your body. Trusting the earth, supporting you. Trusting yourself that you're not going to create harm here. Intention is a powerful thing, and our intention for this practice is to create greater trust being in your body. So have the intention to really sink in here. Drop down. And when you have that, rise into low lunge. This is not the practice to force and to push yourself deeper into a pose. I invite you to soften into the poses. You're not forcing yourself to drop down. You're relaxing and softening into it. And there's a really big difference. Take your hips back, straighten that front leg, lift your toes and drop your head. Keep that front knee soft and movable. Feel the weight under your hands. And if it feels right to you, maybe thank the earth for holding you. Maybe find some gratitude for sinking deeper into your body. And find the gratitude because it helps create safety. If that doesn't feel right, throw it out. But just find any ways you can through this practice to sink deeper into your body. Slowly lift your head and walk your hands forward. tuck your back toes. And again, however you get there, find your way back to downward facing dog. For me, it's tucking my toes and lifting my back leg and sweeping my front leg back. Pushing through your hands, create that powerful upward motion from the earth all the way to your hips. And drop that weight into your feet. Just let it go, dropping into the feet, feeling the earth supporting you. And now bend your knees, take them to the earth a little wider than your torso, and sink down and find child's pose, and let your forehead go on the mat if that feels good. If not, make a pillow for your head. And just really sink down into this. Exhale, let go. Can you smell your mat? Are there any scents that you can inhale in the room around you? Does your nose tickle as you breathe with it on the mat? As you look through your closed eyes, do you see anything? Feel your skin, the air touching your skin, the earth under your hands and legs and head. Experience all your senses here. The more you can sink in and let go, the more you inhabit your body, the deeper the experience. Slowly push yourself up, and then keeping your hands where they are, flat palms down on the mat. Find your way into puppy, bringing your knees in and having your hips over your knees. So you're not sitting back in child's pose. Your hips are up in the air over your knees. And then you may want to walk your hands forward and drop your head if you can for puppy. Your forehead is on the mat. Feel the weight on your knees, under the palms of your hands and on your head. Only if this feels safe and you don't have any neck issues, otherwise please don't do this. Lift your head just 1 inch here off the mat. Feel how heavy that is. Feel how you have to push through your hands and your knees to support lifting your head. And then drop your head. And notice that the earth is there to hold the weight of your head. Keeping your palms where they are, lift your head and slowly lift your body forward to find Sphinx pose. Adjust so your elbows are under your shoulders. The tops of your feet are on the mat. Take a few moments. Come back to your breath. How are you experiencing this in your body right now? And if thoughts come into your mind, come back to this question, the curiosity, bringing your awareness internal into your physical body. When we fully inhabit the body with curiosity, it makes it impossible for the mind to wander. And now bring your hands down, make a pillow for your head, and then just rock your hips side to side for a moment. And we're going to come into Shalabhasana. So clasp your hands behind your back, pushing the tops of your feet into the mat. On your inhale, lift your head and heart, rolling your shoulders back. Keeping a nice C curve with your head in line with your spine. Notice how when you inhale, your face moves a little bit further away from the earth. And when you exhale, it moves a little closer. Release your hands, lower your head. Pushing yourself back up to a comfortable seat. Roll onto your back. We're going to move into bridge pose. So have your feet behind your sits bones in line with the longest edge of your mat. So your toes aren't pointing together or pointing out. They're straight and they're hip width apart. So imagine there's a yoga block between your knees. Or everybody's hips are different, but it could be 2 fists or 1 fist apart, depending on how wide your hips are. But you want your knees and your feet to be in line. And take a minute and really connect to the felt sense of the earth under your body. Can you feel the earth under the soles of your feet? Can you feel it under all 5 toes? The heel, the side of your foot? Maybe you want to adjust so you can feel it evenly. Can you feel it under your hips, your shoulders, the back of your hands, the back of your head? And notice how your neck is not touching the ground. And you want to keep that because no part of your neck should touch the ground during bridge pose. And so a way to adjust that is just to tilt your chin up when you lift your hips. So now play with pushing through your feet in the earth, and notice how when you do that, your hips want to lift off the ground. So now push them and allow them to lift off the ground. Tilt your chin again a little so no part of your neck is on the mat. And then if it feels right, you can clasp your hands behind your back, palms facing each other. If you want to move deeper into the pose, do not turn to face the screen. Just stay looking up. Don't turn your head in this pose. But you can lift your chest a little bit closer toward your face. And lift your hips a little bit more if that feels good. Remembering to check in with your own body first. See what feels right for you. And remembering the more you practice what feels right for you, the greater that relationship and the greater the trust is between you and your body. The more you can inhabit it. Connecting again to your breath. Maybe you want to play with pushing down through one foot and then the other and notice what happens in your body. If your hip on that side or your whole side body rises. And then when you're ready, rolling back down one vertebrae at a time. Straightening out your left leg, keeping your right knee bent. Bring it across your body for your version of a supine twist. Whatever version of this works for you. I like to move my palm up so I'm getting a stretch through the front of my arm and through my chest, which is really good if you're working at a computer or you're hunching or you've got large busts. This is a really good stretch. It gets all that different places, from the tightening in your chest, come back to center, switch legs, straightening out the right leg, bringing the bent knee of your left across your body. Can you feel the earth under your body? Try to send your awareness to the places that the earth is supporting you. When we feel really unsupported in life, this is a beautiful practice to just really connect to the earth supporting you. Really feel its reliability. Come back to center. We're going to move into supine figure 4, but if you would rather move into pigeon, then I invite you to do that now. Otherwise, planting your left foot on the mat, bring your right ankle in front of your left knee and clasp behind your left thigh. The only part of your body that needs to be really active here is the toes on the foot closest to your face. And that goes for when you're in pigeon prep as well. That toe needs to be active to protect the knee joint, so you're stretching the muscles and not the joints. And then I ask you not to pull on your leg, because that's the masculine energy. The feminine way, and what I'm trying to help you do, is to soften and to not force and to check in what feels right for you. So if you want to move deeper into this pose, then allow your shoulders to soften deeper into the mat. And in doing so, you'll notice you actually move deeper into the pose. And if you want to move deeper still, then you can think about straightening, elongating your tailbone and letting your hips sink deeper into the mat. And then you'll notice that too moves you into a deeper stretch. And let your weight really sink down into those places. Maybe on your inhale, you want to send your breath and let it wash through your hips, where we carry all our old conditioning, tribal trauma, family stuff. Just let your breath wash through, releasing whatever can be released there. Let go with that leg, switch legs, bringing your left ankle in front of your right knee, clasping behind your right thigh, remembering to keep those toes active but soften everything else into the mat. And in the softening, you move deeper into the pose. So we're softening instead of forcing. And the whole notion that a lot of the Western world does of pushing deeper into a stretch, it's counterproductive even in the purely physical sense. It's much more effective, I find, to soften into the pose, to relax into it, because your muscles allow for a deeper stretch that way versus pushing them. When we push, intrinsically our body tenses. As when we're in a fight or flight, our body intrinsically hunches over and clenches. The final pose in a minute is going to be Happy Baby, but if there is a different pose that feels right for you to complete your practice, then I invite you to come into that next. So release the leg and come into Happy Baby if that is your choice as the final pose. And the invitation here is to get funky with it. No baby has ever just sat there, so maybe straighten one leg then the other, maybe put the bottoms of your feet together, whatever feels right in your body. This is a really easy doorway into listening to your body because there's so much option of movement in this pose. And I'm inviting you not to think of it as a pose, as a shape, but just you hold the basic premise of the outside of your feet and then move within that however feels right. And again, if you're in Happy Baby and you want to move deeper, then the choice is there to just elongate your spine, dropping your hips further into the mat. And again, letting your shoulders sink deeper into the mat, you'll notice how you then pull your feet closer to the floor, which deepens the stretch, coming from a place of softening and releasing rather than pushing or force. And I know I'm repeating this often, but that's what it takes. It's a practice because this is a lifetime of living in a patriarchal, domineering, masculine energy, which is our society, that it takes practice. This one class is not going to completely walk away and be in your body permanently. It's a practice. You need to do it regularly. And then we're going to prepare for Savasana. So I invite you to release your feet now. And if there's an option for you to close the door or dim the lights, then I invite you to do that. You could pause the video because the idea is that we want to move into a really relaxed letting go. So you want to create a safe space that you know you won't be interrupted, so your body can really relax. So let your legs splay out, let your hands splay out to the side. And after moving in through the asanas, especially when they're challenging and you're working a little bit, it allows the body to more easily release into relaxation at the end. And you've stretched and you've worked, so your body's going to be feeling more comfortable and able to do this right now. So this is the time to really capitalize on that. If you can stay in this longer after the video is ended, I invite you to do that. I will not be having us sit up at the end to give you the opportunity to stay lying down if that is something you want to do. So close your eyes. Notice your breath, in through your nose and out through your nose, easy, regular, no forcing. Don't try to control it, just allow it. And then bring your awareness to your right arm. And then, if you can, lift your entire right arm off the mat, only an inch. Don't lift it higher, just an inch. Because if you lift it higher, that changes the whole exercise. So just lift it an inch or so off the ground. And notice how heavy that is. Maybe you notice that you have to push into your right hip and your head and maybe even your right shoulder to hold it up this inch. There's a lot going on and there's a lot of effort involved in holding up this heavy arm. Now release it into the mat and just notice how great that feels to let go, knowing that the earth is supporting the weight of your arm. Now lift your left arm up just an inch. And again, notice where in your body you're having to push down into the earth to hold that arm up, keeping it straight, keeping your eyes closed if possible so you can really move into the felt senses here. Where are you pushing down so you can hold the arm up? How much effort is it taking? Are you looking forward to being able to drop it down? Do that now. And you can rely on the earth being there to hold your arm. Again, this is an opportunity for you to make the choice of what's right in your body. If it feels right for you, if you have no neck issues, you can lift your head just an inch. And you'll notice how all the muscles in your neck have to tense, and maybe even you're engaging your core muscles to hold your head up. Let it go. And sigh out. Notice how good it feels just to release and give all your weight to the earth, knowing that it is there to hold you and support you. Bring your awareness into your whole body now and scan it, noticing any sensations, tingling, energy, anything that's going on. Just notice it with no judgment. If there's a tight spot or something that's hurting, the invitation is to inhale and let your breath wash through that area, allowing anything that's ready to be released to release. And you can only do this practice, this powerful
breath work when you are inhabiting your body as we've practiced today. This is a doorway into a world of healing. Release your jaw. Soften your eyes, letting the space between your eyebrows get a little wider and softer. Relax your arms. Relax your shoulders. Relax your neck. Allow your hips to sink deeper, heavy into the mat. Relax your feet. Relax all 5 toes on your left foot. Relax all 5 toes on your right foot. Let go of all thoughts now and just be. You can continue to lie here for as long as works for you. And I thank you for practicing with me today, friend. Namaste.